there's actually multiple neighborhoods within the neighborhood that are also gated, so they can keep out the Four Seasons riffraff, if you will. No, I'm just kidding.
I would kill to be Four Seasons riffraff.
Not me and Demi rolling over from All Stars movies riffraff.
I'm Demi, theme park YouTuber, aka Magical Hijinks.
And I'm entertainment journalist Joey Nolfi, and we've both been diagnosed with terminal theme park obsession, and we're definitely going to spread it to you on the Park Peeps podcast.
We've got years of theme park knowledge, so join us as we serve piping hot takes, park tea, offer the best travel hacks and tips, and chat with guests in the theme park space.
So sit down, buckle in, and pull up on that yellow strap while we dispatch for the Park Peeps podcast. Did you hear that?
No, but my bank account felt it.
While my dear co-host has clearly blocked sensory experience from her consciousness over our latest financial developments, I can confirm that both Demi and I have just dropped approximately $11 million and have signed a contract to live on Disney World property at Golden Oak for all of eternity. So Demi, I have to know, now that we are on this new home life venture, what is the number one thing we are building at our new house / Park Peeps official headquarters?
We are rebuilding Muppet Vision 3D, and we're going to steal the penguins back from Disney because they're going to use them for Rock and Roller Coaster. No, we're taking them for ourselves.
You know what? Of all the things...
I'm sorry. Taking them to the museum.
I was going to say that we have to clarify for legal clearance. It was to the museum. Of all the things that I thought you were going to say with that answer, Demi, that was not one of them. I should have registered that in the Rolodex of my brain. Forgive me, please.
Especially since I'm wearing a Muppet Studios sweatshirt today.
Yes, you're literally wearing that. But what an answer. But listen, before we get into talking about living at Disney World Golden Oak and beyond with a real estate agent who is well versed in the art of Orlando living, you know what would help offset our $11 million investment?
What, Joey?
If you subscribe to the Peep Line, our new Substack bringing you extra tea, behind-the-scenes moments, and more insight from our guests each week. The link is in our socials at ParkPeepsPod, and you can subscribe at parkpeepspodcast.substack.com now.
And make sure you're following me, Demi, at Magical Hijinks, that's Hijinx, and Joey at Joey Nolfi, and leave us a comment, vote in this week's poll on Spotify, and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts so we can have a safe, happy move to Golden Oak.
That's right. Now, are you really moving to Orlando unless you've spoken to our next guest? I don't think so. And you know what? I can speak from experience because I have hit him up on this exact topic. Now, after meeting him at the Stella Nova bar on the first night of Epic Universe Media Preview, I knew he was destined to be a peep. I just had a feeling.
With real estate experience and a social media presence stemming from his Pozek Group real estate company, our guest today balances offering helpful information to potential movers with his affinity for theme parks on his pages.
To discuss Golden Oak, Orlando living, and theme parks, please welcome the latest resident of our new official residential street, which we are now naming Park Peeps Hot Girl Lane. Please welcome Ken Pozek. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Of course. No, I just, anybody who has the confidence to just come up to me at the bar at Stella and just like start a conversation, I'm just like, you know what? You're good people. So I'm glad you're finally here.
I mean, it took a little while, but I'm excited. I finally made it here. I made it.
to Park Peeps Hot Girl Lane.
Correct.
Yes, I know. It is. Yes, it is the hottest place to live. And you know what? I have actually, now that I'm thinking of it, I did recently, I must say, on one of my recent trips that I just missed you on by like a matter of literal minutes. Like you were in the park as I was leaving the park at Epcot. I did help you out a lot on that day, didn't I, Ken?
You did.
With a little tip that I gave Ken.
You did.
Ken had made the mistake of posting feet for free on his Instagram story.
Oh, no.
And yes, I had to call him out and be like, you can't, I have to educate you, sir. You can't do this. You cannot do this. You can make a lot of money.
The amount of DMs I had offering just the most random things, it was okay. It was a learning experience for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
We're here to educate. Yes, we are always here to educate. This is now, actually, instead of just Park Peeps Hot Girl Lane, this is Park Peeps Hot Girl University. We are just everybody. We're teaching everybody the magic of the internet with Ken. We love it.
Yes.
It's called multiple streams of income. You know?
Well, That's one word for it. Yeah.
Subscribe to our new
Wiki feed.
Substack.
Wiki feed. Park Peep feed. That's what we're doing. We're doing it. We're putting it out there.
Oh,
Well, Ken, we are so happy that you are here. And, Joey and I are familiar, but for an introduction for our listeners, can you tell them a little bit about Golden Oak and how it started and what the community entails?
yeah. So Disney, they tried out their whole real estate foyer in celebration back in the 90s. And through learning a lot of that, they were like, hey, we've realized that if we cater to a little bit higher demographic, we've got a really cool opportunity in front of us. So Golden Oak, as it originally was settled, was about 300 single family residences. Now, over the past year or so, they've also opened up some condos and villas, bringing it to 339 unique residences. And that's it. There's not going to be any more. And so it actually is the most expensive homes price per square foot in all of Central Florida.
Oh.
And you've got custom builders. So Disney they're not bringing in Imagineers to build these homes. They have architectural control of the exterior, and they've already, sold them out. So 2012, I believe, was when they first launched the neighborhood, and the houses at the time started at $1.5 to $2 million. And now they go from like $5.5 million to over $20 million.
So if the three of us just right now start the Park Peeps fund for living there, we can with our streams of revenue that we just were discussing, we can someday live at Golden Oak.
This is correct.
Yes.
And you could live the dream. That's for sure.
We're definitely going to need a few wiki feed accounts to hit that in order to make it in our lifetime by at least 90.
Yeah. No, Ken, I'm so sorry for bringing that terrorism to the pod. I couldn't keep it. I couldn't keep it a secret. I just couldn't. He's like blushing so bad. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe he brought this up. But no, and I am interested also to hear a little bit, before I get into my next question, I am curious as to how you got into the real estate space and why this specific area is so interesting to you, like Orlando, Florida, this specific region.
Yeah. So I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and got into real estate right out of high school, had a fairly successful business there. And then in 2016, my wife and I were like, we really would rather live somewhere else other than Michigan. And so we were coming to Orlando all the time, big Disney fans. And we're like, what if we made this shift and I can sell houses anywhere? Why not? So 9 years ago, we started over and we started making content. And then this kind of built into this company. Now we have 55 people on staff and on the sales team. And just it's been amazing. But obviously being a Disney fan, Celebration, Golden Oak, all things parks, it kind of drew me to this. And so I started doing content on the neighborhood. Then I had some people ask, can you help me move into the neighborhood? And now we sell, last year and this year at least, we sell a fair amount of houses in the neighborhood. So it's been a cool trip to see sort of the arc, if you will. But yeah, really fun.
That's amazing.
I love it because it's just, you make it sound so easy. You're like, yeah, we just decided to move down and now we have a company of 55 people and we're just killing it.
It's been, we put out thousands of pieces of content and I know you're joking, but yeah, it's been a fun journey and figuring it all out. And so trying to do business a little bit different. So, and it's amazing because it's almost, some people are nervous to say like, oh, I moved to Orlando because I wanted to be close to the theme parks, but I get to have my biggest like amenity is in my backyard is Disney, Universal, and on and on and on. Like there's just never not something new to do and experience, which is the coolest thing we've talked about. And so, we moved here because we wanted that lifestyle and it was really cool. There's a lot of other people that do. So my team and I help anywhere between 40 and 60 people a month relocate to Orlando. And it's been a lot of fun.
Wow.
It sounds like, I was going to say, it sounds like we're relocating, we're rehoming, like all the Disney adults from around the world.
Bringing you here. Mm-hmm. It's funny. I mean, like the Disney, like think about like Disney plans for like having so many locals. It's where other parks, it's mostly visitors and that sort of thing. They plan on, hey, listen, when attendance is down, we know we can just throw out the Florida discount and they're going to swarm us. It's a really cool thing to be part of.
Now,
for sure.
For someone who might live at Golden Oak, let's say, I think I would ask them, what it's like living at Disney World? Like, how would you answer that question if from your experience? I know you don't live at Golden Oak.
No,
No,
not
okay,
yet. No, yeah.
not yet. But like, I mean, so just a
Well,
hypothetical to someone.
maybe after the wiki feeds.
But I thought I was going to keep bringing
That
this up.
stock is
Demi,
gonna
Demi is bringing it back. Ken, what were you going to say? The stock is going to
it's
go
just
way
gonna
up.
go just skyrocket. Yeah. So I'm there in the neighborhood probably
Mhm.
once a week, and I've gotten to be friendly with a lot of our clients and people that live there. And it was interesting because pre-pandemic, something like 20 to 30% of the neighborhood, they lived there full time. 70%, this was their second home or their third or fourth home. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Post pandemic, it's definitely changed to where it's at least, depending on the year, 50 to 60% live there full time. The rest of them, it's like a second home for them. So it's interesting to see more and more people, take advantage of that. But it's great. I mean, there's the amenities right there. Yes, you are within technically the gates of Disney. You have access. You've got 2 concierge on staff, and we can get into kind of like what's all in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But it's a very cool lifestyle. It's interesting because not too far away, there's not a lot of amenities. Like if you've ever stayed in Walt Disney World, if you leave the bubble, we call it, that, there's Publix and there's a few things, but there's not actually a lot right around it. And so a lot of them, they use the parks as the place that they go to eat, and they get Amazon everything else. And so it's an interesting lifestyle for sure.
Oh, I'm so glad you pointed that out, because I had that feeling when I was thinking about this of like, there really is nothing nearby, like very, very nearby. And so like, I know like when people do like an extended stay at Disney or like do a DVC, they tend to like, do like an Amazon order food or something. But like knowing that the people that are living there are doing the same thing. So it's like basically if you're like a DVC member, like you're getting the real experience of what it's like living on Disney.
Yeah. Think about, okay, so if you're like, more of an affluent human, you probably want Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. And the closest one is over in Dr. Phillips, which is easily 25 to 35 minutes away, depending on traffic. And so that's not like an easy jump. Like nothing in Orlando is super close, but like because of where Golden Oak is, you're a good half hour from everything. And so as Horizon West, which is like the neighborhood kind of, or the area north of Disney starts to develop, there's more stuff there. But for the most part, you're just using like the hundreds of restaurants and hotels at your disposal and in your backyard, which doesn't suck, honestly. It's kind of great.
Not at all. No, the food is like banging at most of those places. And I mean, like you're saying, it's not like a 365 day a year thing for most of these people. I was actually surprised by that statistic, which you said is that a lot of people just use this as their second home. And I'm just like, I will never be able to know what that lifestyle is like.
I mean, I know snowbirds exist in Florida, but usually it's not where it's like a $5 million home is like your, half your yearly residency.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But just so that everyone has kind of like an understanding of where the Golden Oak location is on property, it's kind of like north of Epcot, right?
Yeah, north of Epcot, like think about if you're going down World Drive and you're usually going into the TTC or going through those, the big arch of Magic Kingdom, instead of going through there, you'll actually veer off to the right, and it's kind of over, it's the same entrance as the Four Seasons. And so you go through the gates of the Four Seasons, and then there's actually multiple neighborhoods within the neighborhood that are also gated, so they can keep out the Four Seasons riffraff, if you will. No, I'm just kidding. But it's so it's double.
Kill to be Four Seasons riffraff.
Yeah.
Listen, I love the Four Seasons. It's the best. It's like my favorite. We're there all the time. But no, so it's double gated for safety. Obviously, there's roaming security. It's super secure. But yeah, you're within that neighborhood, same place as where the Four Seasons is.
Oh my God, not so me and Demi rolling over from All Stars movies, riffraff. We're like, hey, what's up, Ken, at the Golden Oak? Let us in. Ken's like, I don't know you people. I don't know you at all.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Well, I need to know though, like, what is the most like expensive one that you've handled or seen or sold at Golden Oak? Because again, you're saying up to like $5 million homes.
20, I think you said.
Yeah, no, starting at $5 million.
Starting at $5 million to 20 million homes, and in Florida. Like this isn't California, this isn't New York, this is Florida.
Yeah, no, it's Orlando. And what's interesting is when I moved here, the average sales price was like 390, and now because post pandemic, a lot of people moved, so inflation and just people moving here, average sales price for Orlando has jumped up over $500,000, which is crazy. So Golden Oak just sort of followed that. It used to be 2 million, now it's 5 to start. So I have one we sold. Unfortunately, NDA, it was over 20 million. But the one that I sold, I could talk about freely, was in the Four Seasons section, because there's actually Golden Oak, and then there's like Golden Oak, even more ritzy area, the Four Seasons section. And there's 30 houses back there. And so this house was 9,000 square feet. We sold it earlier this year for 14.5 million. They had a $500,000 movie theater that was like kind of Star Wars Millennium Falcon version. I've got a current one for sale right now for over 14 million. It's 11,000 square feet. It has a grotto, has just, it's got a toothless pizza oven.
Toothless?
Yeah, it's so cool. So yeah, some of the things you see in these houses are pretty great.
I am in the wrong business.
Yeah,
That's all I
honestly.
keep thinking about.
Ken, you have successfully got us to quit our jobs and just become real
This is
estate.
the final
you work
episode
for
of
me
Park
now.
Peeps, everyone.
Yeah.
We're joining Ken's group. Goodbye, everyone.
You work for me now. It's now 57 employees instead of 55. Yes.
Wow. So beyond just the proximity to the parks, what are the benefits of living at Golden Oak? Like, what's a typical day like for a Golden Oak person? And what kind of perks do they get for living on Disney World property?
Yeah, so the most basic is the summer house and the summer house fee. Now, this is like a homeowners association that's required for everybody that lives there. Part of that, you get 2 full-time concierge. And so if you want to get dinner reservations, or you already have, most of them have their park passes already taken care of. They're not worried about that, but it's just like experiences or any of that sort of thing. They've got the concierge on staff. Now, technically, they're supposed to only do Disney stuff, although they'll help you with other things around town should you really push them. They have 2 restaurants in there. They've got a bar. They've got a lot of different activities like throughout the year that they're curated with, guests from the parks, that sort of thing that come through. You have, a gym, pool. It's just kind of like the best amenity that you could ever imagine. And then they've got access to be able to take, a bus over to, or a car over to the parks, so that you're not having to drive yourself, which is, who wants to drive themselves to the park? That seems crazy.
I don't.
Yeah. Beyond that, you're paying for proximity, you're paying for safety, you're paying for amenities. That's like the main reason why. And the fact that you're buying one of 339 that actually exist in the world.
Yeah, it's such a specific number. Do you know if there's like a reason behind why they capped it at that number?
So the 300 actually was 299 because they sold a couple lots to where it was like they merged 2 half-acre lots into an acre lot. So now it went down from 300 to 299, and then they added the 40 condos and villas. So no, it's very random. And actually, the condos and villas that were there currently, originally when they built the neighborhood, they thought it might be DVC. And so it was going to be this mid-rise, and you had to sign. There's like a massive contract you have to sign when you're building there. And it was like, hey, you understand that there could be a mid-rise building in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
There's already the Four Seasons, so like, who cares? It's like, there's a
riffraff.
big old, yeah. But then they shifted. So when Host bought the Four Seasons, they said, what if we could kind of brand this Golden Oak condo villa situation? And so those condos start at 5 to 15 million. The villas go from 7 to 10 million.
Yeah, drop in the bucket. Just a drop in the bucket.
Just little guys, yeah.
Wait, is it okay? I've never looked at it from a satellite view. Is the whole neighborhood shaped like a Mickey?
I don't think so.
No, they couldn't. No, Joey.
No. And like and what's interesting is so it used to be Osprey Ridge Golf Course, and so they took over this golf course and then turned it into this neighborhood. But it should be a Mickey. What were they thinking?
I know,
Missed
honestly,
opportunity.
Opportunity missed.
Yeah.
It should be a Mickey. So if y'all are listening, to maybe double it from 339, I mean, just make a Mickey next to it. Make it a whole big Mickey. This is why I'll never live there. Cause
let's make like a version of this for the poors, like and then make that one Mickey shaped.
Yeah, make the
Like
suburban public school area of Golden Oak the Mickey shaped one. Yeah. Well, you did. I'm glad you brought up the one with the Star Wars theme theater because I do have some questions about that. I did see that was actually when I saw you post that on your socials. I was like, "This is our topic." I was like, "I need to talk to Ken about this." If like finally I have something like that's perfect. So, because you that one you did say on social it was 14.5 million. It had the Millennium Falcon theater. What is like the wildest or most elaborate Disney themed home you have seen at? Wait, what is that? What is that noise?
Oh, that's my Kaleidoclock. Not sponsored, but if you don't have a Kaleidoclock, this guy right here, it changes every day. And then on the hour, it's got that old school, like it just warms my soul. Okay.
I love
I
that.
love
It brings
that.
out the darkness and makes me a lighter human.
Oh.
So there you go.
Oh,
Okay,
love
well,
it.
you know what? We're keeping that in. We're not editing that out.
Yeah.
We're not editing that out. No,
It's
we're keeping
giving,
that in.
yeah, it's amazing. I
It's
love the
giving
vibes.
church. But so what is like the wildest or most elaborate Disney themed home that you have seen at Golden Oaks? Like specifically with regard to IP or Disney inspired theming.
I mean, so the one that, again, the one I sold in, that was in the Four Seasons section had the $500,000 theater, but then it also had, it had like a frozen room where like you had characters built, like actual characters that for sure like an Imagineer type person had built. And then there's like the next room over was Finding Nemo, and it had like the up top, it had all of the, what are the little birds that are like mine, mine, mine. So you
Oh my
walk in the room
gosh.
and like there was a sensor that would go off and then they would be talking. And then there's Bruce the shark with a TV in its mouth.
It just keeps going.
No, I mean, it was like literally millions of dollars in theming. And yeah, it's interesting because the converse is also true, where some people are like, we want to live at Disney, but we don't want to have crazy over the top. We want hidden Mickeys are the thing in the neighborhood. And it's how many hidden Mickeys can you find in the homes? And so the builders would say, do you want us to tell you where they are? Or do you want to discover
Oh my
them?
gosh.
Yeah. And so they, like a lot of them had cheat sheets, and they would say like, hey, you're going to be able to find these. If you want, you can look at the sheet and find them all. If you don't, that's okay. We're going to be able to, just discover them over time, which is kind of fun.
I want every home to come with a cheat sheet to potential hidden Mickeys. Like,
Yeah.
that's incredible. I
Yeah.
really love that.
Yeah,
And
I
they're,
want
like,
them to
kind of-
like print out the sheet for me. Like give me a chance, but then I will give up.
That's right. Everybody wants the book to know where they're located. But some of them, they're like little, like I had this one artist who does a lot of the themings in these homes. And her name is Sarah. She used to work at Islands of Adventure when that was opening up and helping them theme that. And now she does this really these really high end finishes for many homes like this. And she'll take her little burn tool and like burn them in the beams and just hide them throughout. And like all of a sudden you're sitting there drinking coffee and you're like,
Is
there's
that
one
what
right
I'm
there.
thinking?
Is that
Yep,
what
it
I
is.
said? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure
Yeah.
is.
So it's just a cool little whimsy.
That's great.
That's amazing.
Crazy. I'm going to start doing this in my home and just start like, putting them into the walls on my home. So you said that Disney has exterior control, and you said there were some, Imagineer type people who were designing some of the theming. Like, is that a requirement for these homes? Like, does the actual Disney Imagineering team, like the actual Imagineers, have work on these homes ever?
No. I mean, the interior is like just interior designers that are
Okay.
massively talented. Maybe some of them are former Imagineers, but nobody actually works for the Imagineering team. The exterior is more so, they want architectural control, so you're not painting your house pink or some crazy color that doesn't actually match
Right.
the rest of the aesthetic.
What about Figment Purple?
I've not seen Figment Purple.
Well,
But if you want to change like a doorbell or literally anything on the outside of your house, you have to go through their architectural review board.
Oh my gosh. So it's like more intense than an HOA, basically.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh my
And then
goodness.
it's interesting. So, and then they've got all these neighborhoods. So you got Symphony Grove and you've got Marceline, and they're all named after these all cool
I
love
old
that.
school Disney history. But some of them include landscaping, other ones don't. And so, how many trees are included or how you keep your landscaping, all of it is very meticulously maintained.
Wait, some houses don't include landscaping?
Correct. Yeah. Some people have to take care of it themselves. Go figure.
Oh my gosh.
I'd be doing all Figment topiaries.
If you ever happen to meet somebody that lives there, going through during Halloween right now and Christmas is the most incredible thing. These folks spend bananas money doing exterior, like there's one over in the Four Seasons section where you've got literally a pirate ship on the outside of their house. And it's like, as you drive by, the music turns back on and there's, Captain Jack up front. It's wild.
I wish I could see that, but I guess I'll stick to the campsite at Fort Wilderness. Everyone decorates there.
I'm at the courtyard outside on International. I'll be peeping in with my park peeping binoculars.
We'll like sneak into the Four Seasons and get our binoculars and look out the window from there.
Yeah.
The Four Seasons is the greatest.
I still haven't been there. I need to. It's been on my list for a long time to do the character breakfast.
Character breakfast at Ravello is incredible. If you ever really, really want to treat yourself, even if it's just starting at the bar, but Kappa up at top there, it's the best view in all of Orlando, especially because you can see Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios. You see all the fireworks. The food is absolutely incredible. The service, everything is really, really great and gives you a little peek into the Golden Oak neighborhood as you're driving through.
That's so cool. Elsewhere with homes in the Orlando area, what's the most unique or wildest home you've shown or listed?
Most of those are down in Reunion. So Reunion, they're themed for Airbnb. And so one of the things we didn't talk about is like Golden Oak, you cannot rent your house out by the night, the week, the month. You have to, it's a minimum, it's a minimum 6 months. And even then you have to go through a background check, and they really want to make sure that whoever's leasing this property is on the up and up. And so, but Reunion's the opposite, where they're like, rent it by the night, rent it by the week, we don't care. And so down in Reunion, we see wildly themed houses. There was one in particular that I loved that had a 2-story Toy Story room where you entered in, you had blasters that, like, as you shot little targets, little things would open up. And so, I mean, these houses are $6, $7, $8 million, and they rent for $3,000 a night. Very, very cool stuff down there where like every room is themed like a theme park is. It's pretty cool.
Amazing. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to make a joke. I was just going to say we could afford now 3,000. We could do some damage and raise some funds for that. I feel between the three of us, that's 1,000 each.
Right. We got it.
Or we can just try to get in more people. It's like, what's 100%. The limit? What's the cap?
Well, as we say, some of these are like 12, 13 bedrooms. They sleep 40 people. That's
like $10 a person.
It's cheap. It's basically cheap when you think about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cheap. Imagine, I think for me, it's like organizing all those people and to get them to do one thing is harder than raising the funds, I think.
Yeah.
I did a video not too long ago. They call it the Reunion Castle. Probably if you go to Reunion Castle, just Google it or go on Instagram. But this guy recreated a like 16th century castle in Reunion on 2 lots. And you walk in, there's like coats of armor and just like old stuff that they've imported from Europe. And it's wild. Like Orlando's crazy, you guys. Like the stuff that people do in their homes, either for Airbnb or for their own thing. It's cool.
Yeah, I've only done one like themed Airbnb, and it was very lightly themed, but like it was really cute. But the price was right. Like sometimes you can find a good price. Like it was during like spring break, and it was everything was booked or like overpriced, so it was fun. It was like a little lightly themed Harry Potter Airbnb. Yeah. Came with like a community pool, gave it something.
No, it's great. And the Airbnbs have taken a massive hit. This is a different topic, but they used to be super expensive, and like people they had huge demand. Well, now Disney's opening up new hotels. They've got Universal's opening up multiple new hotels, and they're really affordable, like compared to some of the other places. So Airbnb costs have gone down, so you can get a really cool house for not too crazy.
Yeah. I think also is people are just like, when it came out, I remember it was like the thing to do, but I think people have also like, with all like these little fees, sometimes it's not clean. Like it depends like on your experience and stuff. And then you have to like put all the garbage out and take the sheets off and like do all your own cleanup. And it's like, depending on what you are, what you're doing with your family, whoever you're vacationing with or whatever, it may just like be more work than you want for your vacation as well.
Personally, I just love going to stay. Like even when we do a staycation, we stay on property because I'm like, I don't want to jump on the monorail or jump on the bus, stay really close, not drive. I think it's the better experience. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I do too. And Demi, you're speaking to taking out the garbage. Like, I mean, they need to, people at the Four Seasons, you better take out that garbage and stay it over there. Watch out. So Ken, as someone who is considering moving to Orlando, and you and I have lightly discussed this in the past, I did reach out to you for some perspective on this because it's still something that's potentially in the process for me. So what tips would you give for someone who is considering making the move down here solely, I guess, to be closer to the parks? Because you, like you said, you did move down here after living elsewhere. So what sort of tips would you give to somebody who is considering that for the parks?
I would say unless you have really clear understanding of Orlando, like you're either going to come spend a little bit more time outside of the parks. Like don't go to just like stay away from the parks for a week or two. Go rent something. Maybe it's an Airbnb, but go understand, like we've got a lot of really cool things outside of the theme parks that I'm really passionate about. Our food scene's incredible. There's a lot of amazing things to do outside of the theme parks, although we spend a lot of time there. And if you're not really certain that this is where I want to live, like if you're not like Golden Oak, it's like really where I want to live, so then maybe rent for a year and kind of get to know the idea. Because what we find a lot of folks, they move somewhere, and like we moved to Celebration when we first moved here, and I love Celebration. It's iconic, it's beautiful, but it just wasn't for us based on the way that we wanted to live. And so we ended up moving to Horizon West back in 2019, and we love it. So if I went back, I would have like probably spent a little bit more time outside of the bubble to get to know it before I committed to buying something.
Where is Horizon West?
So Horizon West is an
west
area.
Of Horizon.
Well,
I hate you.
so you take the Horizon, then you go left.
Okay, you go left.
Yeah.
See, Ken's my people.
So the cool thing, it's just north of Magic Kingdom. So we live in Horizon West. Right out there, I can see Magic Kingdom fireworks every night. It's very cool. But there's no Airbnbs allowed. Everything's pretty new. Like those all been built up over the past 12 to 15 years. Schools are new, shops are new, just everything. It's great. So yeah, just different. That's all.
I need to, this is something that I really need to ask you. This is totally a little, not off topic, but just, I think what I would love to hear, since you are now a local and you have lived in Celebration, now you're in Horizon West. Something that I feel like the world doesn't talk about enough is Orlando traffic. I feel like we always talk about New York traffic, LA traffic, but Orlando traffic is truly one of the worst things I've ever had to deal with ever. And I'm curious, like, because you do frequent parks and stuff, like, I know you're definitely a little bit closer to maybe like Magic Kingdom or something, but like, how is Orlando traffic for you? Like, is there, like, do you recommend like certain areas like to stay away from? I need to know now.
So we try to stay off I-4 as much as possible. Although like, so Dr. Phillips, which is like right next to Universal Studios, their north is actually not bad at all on I-4 because they've added the toll lane in the middle of I-4. And for that right there just alleviated. Adding 4 more lanes has just made it really easy. Now you go south of that and it's a nightmare, like all the way through Champions Gate and Davenport.
Yes.
So you can literally stay in traffic. You're not moving long. It's like
you're not
4 or 5 miles and it takes you 45 minutes.
Yes. My cousin moved to Davenport last year. And so I will go and stay with her every once in a while when I'm down, because I'm down like every month or more. And at one point at night, it was really late at night. It took me 17 minutes to get from Hollywood Studios to get to her house. But if I leave any other time, it's like 30 to 45 minutes to go anywhere.
Yeah, it is. And the cool thing is that if you stay on our toll roads, not bad. You're obviously having to pay, pretty much like $1 every time you get on and off, which adds up for people.
Mm-hmm.
Our side there, we don't have a ton of side roads, and like in areas like Davenport, when you're going up and down 27 or like Ronald Reagan Drive and some of these other places, it's just not built for the amount of growth that we've had. I mean, we've had 1,500 people a week moving to Central Florida for 7 or 8 years now, and like our roads are acting as if we've had 500 people moving here. And so they're advancing a lot of these new big infrastructure plans, but it takes time. And so that's the one thing we often talk about.
And you are so very clearly knowledgeable about all of this stuff, and you're a really great resource for this. And when I just want to go back to something that you said earlier when you were talking about doing things outside the parks, and you want to encourage people who want to move down there to do things outside the parks to see that there is more to offer in this area. What specific, I know you said the food scene's great, but like what specific recommendations do you have, whether it's food or other things to do in that period that you're going down there, renting an Airbnb for 2 weeks to sort of experience Orlando outside the parks?
WWE.
WWE for sure is coming. So, Orlando City Soccer, Orlando Magic, we're huge basketball fans personally, but like we have amazing downtown areas, and each one of them has a farmer's market and all of these mom and pop shops that are incredible. And so whether that's a food mom and pop shop or a little bookstore, but there's downtown Winter Garden, downtown Winter Park. There's Soto, Mills 50, Ivanhoe, Thornton Park. There's Baldwin Park. There's so many little downtowns that make up the city of Orlando and the surrounding areas where you feel like, oh, this is a sense of community. And because here's an interesting thing. This might be a good clip for you guys. When you move to Orlando, it's, believe it or not, it's weird because you go to, say, Magic Kingdom, there's 100,000 people around you and it feels really lonely. And you wouldn't think that because you have so many people around you, but you have people from all over the world. They're like head down in their phone, they're taking pictures, right? And they're off to their next thing, right? And so you have to go find community outside of the theme parks many times, unless you find your friends that are also theme park fanatics like Joey. But
you're like deeply unwell people.
No, but that's it. So getting in these like little downtown areas, it's great. Like Run Club, you got like there's just a million places to get plugged in, but many times people find it outside of the theme parks because of that reason.
I love that. That's something that it's you just put into words something so simple that I often do feel when I love going down there for a solo day if I'm just waiting for my friends to get there, or even just a full solo day at parks. But there is that weird element of sadness where it's like people do, or not sadness, loneliness, where it's like, and I guess slight sadness of being in a place that is so populated, but everybody's in their own little bubble doing their own little thing, and you're experiencing certain things in a communal sense. But if you're doing a solo day, at the end of the day, you're controlling your own day, but you are essentially by yourself at the end of the day. And that is why I'm glad that I have found such a nice parks community. Demi, my parks, my hub of my parks community. But Ken, would you be my friend if I moved down there? Oh, thank you.
No,
so now I don't have to be lonely.
I'm just so bummed the only time you ever text me is when you're trashing me on Instagram. So
trashing? What have I ever trashed you?
I mean, not trash, just giving me polite tips around feed pics and such.
Oh my God, I'm dead.
I was gonna say, how do we go from helping you to trashing? Like I just the jumping from A to B in that scenario. But yeah, we can start. You could say, Ken, we could start on a new foot, going forward. So
a new wiki foot.
You could say that.
Yes.
No, but you're absolutely right about that feeling, because I went down for the first time by myself in 2020 when I started the channel, and over time you just like, I was so lucky to meet friends and people I can work with while I'm also there, and so it isn't as lonely. And those days now that I am solo, there are days that I really love it too because I can get a lot done. I'm also working, but like, and I also like being able to do whatever I want. And as someone who's like from New York and has had a lot of downtime to be alone, to wander the city alone, go to movies or out to eat by yourself. Like I'm so used to it because it's just our culture here. But it's so different when you're with people, and so definitely making community. And I love that you're saying like outside community, because it's it's not just you're moving, yes, to be toward the parks, but that is not the only thing there. And you have to, I think a good balance would be good. Because you also don't want to like overdo it either. You don't want to like tire yourself out of the parks, right? I think like, that's, I think a big fear of people who are going to maybe want to move there is like, will this ruin my love of the parks if I'm there all the time? Because it's a place where I can escape to now. I can fly down and escape, but is that going to be the same feeling if I can just go anytime? Will I want to go all the time, or is it going to feel like kind of like a schlep?
That's my fear. That's my big fear, I think, for sure.
I think so. So we go every week, but again, we have now 3 Universal parks, all the Disney parks. Every once in a while, we try out a little SeaWorld action from here and there.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
SeaWorld's
but
got great like festival food. Just
they
saying.
do, yeah, no, they really do. They're great. So there's always something new to do. So we'll go in, we'll ride 2 or 3 rides, grab dinner, go home, and then every once in a while we'll do like a full day park. But that's actually pretty few and far between for us. It's really like once a quarter where we go all in and we do the whole 8 to 8 and we leave and we're like, how do we do this every day when we were here on vacation before? I'm so tired. But yeah, and then there's also new restaurants and new rides and new experiences, and just every season is different. We got HHN right now. It's about to flip over. You got Food and Wine. There's just always something going on that it feels fresh. And so if I had to go to Epcot every day and that was all there was, okay, that probably would get boring eventually. But no, for us, I mean, 9 years in, we're pretty good.
That's great. I love that you have that balance. Well, speaking of parks, we need to talk about some parks things. So which park do you visit the most?
I feel like the age that my kids are right now, we've been really on a Hollywood Studios kick. So we love Star Wars. We love really waiting for, obviously, Rock and Roller Coaster, unfortunately, to shut down. It's still open. We rode it yesterday, actually. But yeah, no, I think Hollywood Studios has been it.
So, before you mentioned that you do sometimes do like staycations, what's like the difference versus like, coming down for a week versus living there and then maybe deciding to also just scooch over and be on property for a while?
For us, it's just more so the experience of staying in the hotel, having the kids jump on the beds, running around, like all of that is a lot of fun. Like seeing the fireworks. Yes, they're in our backyard, but like seeing them right there. We like Riviera, we like the Grand, are kind of like the two that we oscillate back and forth from. But being able to jump on the Skyliner and go in, there's just that something that is a little bit of a different experience than jumping in your car, driving to the TTC, jumping on the monorail, doing that whole thing.
That whole schlep. The whole schlep and dances.
So I guess given what you were saying of, the parks are constantly changing, that is one thing that I think even myself, it's anxiety that I've had of moving down to Orlando and thinking, oh no, am I going to ruin not ruin, but am I going to make less special the thing that is so special to me and like the last thing in this life that makes me truly, genuinely, unabashedly happy every time I do it? But that is a great point. They are constantly changing and adding and doing new things, and whether it's a food item or a festival or whatever. But what is your favorite constant about the parks? Like, what is one thing that you hope they never change at either Disney or Universal that will always keep you coming back?
So it is like weird as it sounds, but it's like Carousel of Progress, Hall of Presidents. It is some of those old ones where you go there and you instantly feel that nostalgia. And I know I wasn't around for Maelstrom like before they got rid of it, but I remember hearing all of my friends freaking out about it. And I was like, I don't have that experience, unfortunately. But there's some of those things that, like, if they ever decided to massively change Haunted Mansion, I would be like, don't F with it. Like it's not my thing. Right. Like when I see them go, Cars Land coming and, they're draining the water there. I don't really have much nostalgia around that, but I know some people really do. So I do really I love the change and the refresh as long as they start listening to the fans. And so I look at Villains Land. That's something we've all asked for so long, and they finally listen. So I hope they deliver properly. But anyways, hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah.
No, it's the classics. The classics, they're at heart of this. The classics are what bring people down in the first place and made this a destination. To have a real estate industry there that is so booming because people want to come down there. Like you said, at the rate of, did you say 1,500 people a month or a week?
A week. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's wild. That's crazy. So in the span of this pod, approximately 75 people have moved in according to that math. So see, I can math.
You can math.
Yes, I can.
It's something like I want to, and then obviously there's people coming and going. So, but I think it's like net, like we have 500 or 600 people a day move, a week are moving here, which is absolutely wild.
That
insane,
is crazy,
absolutely crazy.
And that started and like the biggest influx was 2020 influx.
We saw what we call like the great pull ahead. You had a lot of people like, skip it. I'm out of here from New York and DC and other places. I'm moving to Florida. But no, even before that, it was like, 1,400 people a week. And so, it just started taking up. And it's interesting because we definitely changed even since I've lived here. So 9 years ago, we moved here. Theme parks were really all we were known for. Now you have, the Space Coast is blowing up quite literally. You have billions and billions of dollars of investment there. That's only 45 minutes away. Like right from my front yard, we can see rockets taking off. It's the coolest thing. But then you have, the defense contractors, you got hospitality industry. UCF, our college. We're number 1 or number 2 in this country for the number of kids that attend a public university. There's like 68,000 kids that go there. And that's continuing to grow. So it's been fun to see Orlando start to change from, yes, theme park capital of the world, and that's actually something I'm super passionate about.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, that's very nice. And I just have to tell you that those are actually not rocket ships from your front yard that you're seeing. Those are just the Magic Kingdom fireworks you talked about before. Yeah.
Sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
Tinkerbell.
See, I'm always right. I'm always right. But no, this was absolutely wonderful. You are just such a joy to talk to. I'm so glad that I met you at the Epic event and that I got to see you briefly at the Horror Nights event as well, where you were stalking me the whole night. I have to say, Ken was following me everywhere. Everywhere I would look, Ken would be in my line of vision, so I had to call him out on that too. So, but no, it's been.
How do I get in his group? And they were like, "Stop, jeez."
Yeah, I know, it really was bad. It was bad. I had to get Jason Voorhees to come over and do some damage because it was not happening. But Ken, why don't you tell everybody? I know we talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but tell everybody where they can find you. Your real estate group, anything that you want people to go and look at.
Yeah. So YouTube, if you're interested in possibly moving or just interested in what's going on in Orlando. So at Ken Pozek is my channel there. Over on Instagram, same thing, at Ken Pozek. We do a lot of news and development stuff, theme park stuff, all that good stuff, just life in Orlando. It's fun.
I love that. Thank you so much for being here, Ken, and talking to us. This was such great insight, too. As two people who are not locals but frequent almost enough to be locals, it's so interesting. And especially since Joey really is considering this, I'm not, but Joey.
Oh, I am. Yeah, I definitely am. So I had one bad viewing. Well, I shouldn't call it bad. The place was fine. It was just my stand. I am so super crazy about noise, and I can't have walls that are made of cardboard and wood. I have to have steel and concrete. And now I'm I can't do an apartment. I have to do a house. I just have to rent a house. I think that's just what I have to do. So we'll be talking more, Ken.
Sounds good.
We'll be speaking more.
I got you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ken.
We actually now, though, we have decided 1 hour after signing the lease to sell our property and make an enormous profit. We're now buying the entire city of Orlando with that profit. Congrats, Demi. Follow along with our statewide takeover at Park Peeps Pod on all the socials and subscribe to our Substack at parkpeepspodcast.substack.com.
And keep up with me, Demi, at Magical Hijinks. That's HIJINX. And follow Joey at Joey Nolfi. And stay tuned next week when we return with another all-new episode. See you then, neighbors.
Bye.
Bye.